Lots of large games released on PC during 2016. We had titles such as No Man's Sky, The Division, Battlefield 1, and Titanfall 2 to name a few. With so many large titles coming out one after another, I had to make some decisions based on income and time. Gears of War 4 was a game that I was really quick to brush aside when choosing which games I'd purchase and which ones I'd leave behind. I've always been a fan of the series, but nothing in their E3 demonstration or trailers grabbed me. This, coupled with my skepticism of ports for Microsoft games, made it really easy for me to just toss aside. Early into this year, I found myself in need of a new game to play, and while I did ignore Gears of War 4 for the most part, it did linger on the outer edge of my radar. In the mood for a shooter, I hopped onto the dreaded Microsoft Store and I picked it up. Since I bought it a few months after release, any issues it may have had at launch seemed to be fixed. The game runs marvelously, and there are many settings to get it to do so if you're running it on older hardware. I personally am rocking a GTX 1070 and my FPS hasn't strayed from 60 with everything on Ultra at 1080p. I haven't noticed any graphical issues, and load times are fine for the most part. The only time they feel a bit much is when I'm playing Horde mode and I have people in my squad that are playing on Xbox One. This is bound to happen thanks to the implementation of crossplay, which extends to both Versus mode and Horde mode. The notable thing about crossplay and Versus mode is the fact that it's only applied to the social quick play playlists. If you play the competitive playlist, you will only match against other PC players if you're playing on PC. I personally have not branched into the competitive modes, so I couldn't tell you how long their queue times are. From experience, I can tell you that the social quick play queue times and Horde mode queue times are rather short. While this isn't a review, I do feel inclined to say that the story was pretty lackluster in terms of writing. The campaign was an enjoyable experience, but not much more than that. The game does look rather pretty, and the gameplay is as fun as ever. Basically, it's Gears of War with new weapons and enemies. There's not much more to say than that. Unfortunately, there are microtransactions that go beyond maps, namely a case system, like most games do nowadays. You can get bounties, class skills, and skins out of these cases. Cases can be purchased with real money or in-game currency. In-game currency is earned by playing Horde mode matches and Versus mode matches. I personally don't feel pressured at all to buy these cases, and if I do, I always earn plenty of in-game currency to open some. If you missed out on Gears of War 4, I definitely recommend it on a sale. I'm not saying it isn't worth $60, but it would be far more attractive if it was a bit cheaper. The game is beautiful visually, and the gameplay is lots of fun. It provides a plethora of reasons to keep playing, but the story could use some work. I know I'll be coming back to the multiplayer regularly, and I believe plenty of others will too. If you want to check out more PC gaming content, like reviews, news, and even our own podcast, be sure to head over to KBMOD.com.